Hello students, this is Manish Yadav and today I have brought a new video for you for class 11th. In this video we are going to cover the remaining portion of class 11th, the chapter that is the Browning version. And we were discussing about the conversation of Frank and Taplow, in which they both were talking together, and Mr. Crocker Harris is not at the school, he is outside of the premise, and Taplow is waiting for his removal, that Mr. Crocker Harris will come and provide him his removal so that he would get the admission in the next term. Without getting removal, he can't take admission in the next term. So it is very, very important for him to get his removal and go anywhere else, because he made an absenteeism and he was called on that day, and Mr. Crock is not there. So at first Taplow says that Mr. Crocker Harris is hardly human. He has no sympathy and feeling for a child. But when he thinks that I have carried away enough and a lot, he tries to change his statements, and he began to appreciate, admire the qualities as well as the characteristics, attitude of Mr. Crocker Harris. So Frank says, the teacher, young teacher says, we are going to start in this video. Frank, and I don't know any boy who does not use that for his own purposes. I don't know why other boys do this for their own purpose and their own benefits. Okay, they appreciate of their teachers, sometimes they give bad compliments, they criticize their teachers, but it is only for their own purpose. Okay, they do it for their own purpose. Taplow, the student, well, it's natural, sir. Okay, he is talking about the qualities as well as the attitude of Mr. Crocker Harris. So Taplow says that these all are his natural, okay, but not with the Crock, Frank, Mr. Crocker Harris. Taplow, Mr. Crocker Harris, the funny thing is that in spite of everything, I do rather like him. Okay, I rather like him in spite of everything, means I like him. Actually, I like him. I don't dislike his qualities and his attitude. I can't help it. Okay, and sometimes I think he sees it, and there is no another option to choose and to do. I have to like him because he is my principal. And sometimes I think he sees, okay, and he observe that I like him, and I obey, I follow him. I am a good follower of my principal, and that seems to shrivel him up even more. And this is the reason, that is why he shrivels just up even more, means he become very excited and to look after me a lot. Frank, I am sure you are exaggerating, means you are adding enough. Okay, enough is enough, and you are hyperbole, speaking a lot, and that is unacceptable. Recently you said that he is hardly human being, and now you are admiring Mr. Crocker Harris, giving good compliments about his attitude and characters. So this is enough. This is just like exaggeration, hyperbole. Okay, so what does he say next? Let you know. Taplow, no sir, I am not adding more than need. This is true what I said about Mr. Crocker Harris. In form, the other day he made one of his classical jokes. Of course, nobody laughed because nobody understood it. I am not. I am not adding more than it. It is true. One day, he made one of his classical jokes. Okay. He spoke a joke in the classroom one day, and of course, nobody laughed because nobody understood the joke, myself include, and I could not understand also. Still, I knew he'd mean it is as funny. I knew he had meant it as funny. So I laughed, and I began to laugh because I think it was just like a joke, and he was poking a joke in the classroom in front of all the children, but nobody laughed, so that nobody could understand. But I laughed, only just expecting that it would be a joke out of ordinary common politeness, and feeling a bit sorry for him for having made a poor joke. Now I can't remember what the joke was, but suppose I make it. Now you laugh, sir. Frank laughs. Okay, means he added his laughing as Mr. Crocker Harris finished his joke in the classroom. It seems that Tableau was understanding. He shows that I am understanding, and he laughs. Frank laughs after getting and listening Tableau, because Tableau was talking about very strange and funny thing which happened in the classroom recently. Tableau, in a gentle, throaty voice, Tableau, you laughed at my little joke. I noticed. Here in this paragraph, again, Tableau is imitating Mr. Crocker Harris using his throaty voice. Tableau, you laughed at my little joke. I noticed. I must confess that I am pleased at the advance your Latin has been, since you so readily have understood. Okay, means he became so happy. Who? Mr. Crocker Harris became so happy when Tableau laughed at his joke, because he understood that there is someone in the classroom who could understand what I said. Nobody else laughed at his joke except Tableau. So Tableau was one out of every students who laughed. So Mr. Crocker Harris says that you understood what I said. Next he says that I am pleased at the advance of your Latin has made, since you so readily have understood what the rest of form did not. Hence, he spoke in complete joke, in complete line, and Tableau laughed. So he says that it is nice that you understood what the rest of the form did not. Perhaps you would be good enough to explain it to them. It is the great problem, and just a casualty comes to the student Tableau. He laughed so that, or as if he were understanding. Okay, and Mr. Crocker Harris just pointed him out to stand up and explain the rest of the form. Okay, rest of the students who did not laugh at his joke. So Mr. Crocker Harris says to Tableau to explain the meaning of his joke. And what was the problem? The problem was Taplow, even he did not understand the meaning of joke, but he laughed. Okay, however, he laughed so that they too can share your pleasure. Now it's turn to explain the joke, and it was very strange and funny that is going to be happened with the student Taplow. Now the door upright is pushed open, and Millie Crocker Harris enters. Now it is another scene in which another character enters in the drama. The door upright. Okay, I mean someone opened the door at right side and is pushed open, and Millie Crocker Harris enters. Okay, this is the name, Millie Crocker Harris. She is a thin woman in her late 30s, and the woman is 30 years old, rather more smartly dressed than the general run of schoolmasters' wives. And she smartly dressed than the general run of the schoolmasters' wives means she decorates and manages good and better dresses rather than other schoolmasters' wives. She is wearing a cap and carries a shopping basket. She has a basket, it was shopping basket, and she wore a cap on her head. She closes the door and then stands by the screen watching Taplow and Frank. She closes the door. At first she opens the door and shut the door, and she stands by the screen watching Taplow and Frank. She was watching the screen, just expression of two people, Taplow and the teacher Frank. Now what happens next? Let me erase the lines on the screen so that it would not confuse all the readers. Next, here we go. It is a few seconds before they notice her. Okay, she was just standing there. She opened the door and shut the door. She was standing there, but these both people, Frank and Taplow, they were so busy in their own conversation and communication, so they did not notice Millie Crocker Harris. And just a few seconds before they noticed her, Frank says, "Come along, Taplow, move slowly above the desk. Do not be so selfish as to keep a good joke to yourself. Tell the others." He breaks off suddenly, noticing Millie. Oh Lord. Now it's the time of changing the statements. Frank changes the statement so that Millie Crocker Harris could not understand what they were talking about. He changed this topic and says, "Do not be so selfish as to keep a good joke to yourself. Tell me the others." Means he tries to change the topic, showing that we were talking about the joke and just Taplow was telling jokes to Frank, and he breaks off suddenly, noticing Millie. Oh Lord. As he saw, who saw? Frank, the young teacher, saw Millie Crocker Harris, because Millie Crocker Harris was the wife of Mr. Crocker Harris, and Mr. Crocker Harris was the headmaster of the school. So she could report about what they were talking together. So he says, "Oh Lord, oh my God, this is Millie Crocker Harris. Now she'll report everything if she listen." What happened next? Frank turns quickly and seems infinitely relieved at seeing Millie. Frank, "Oh, hello. Hello, Millie. Millie, without expression, hello. She comes down to the sideboard and puts her basket on it. As I told you, as we read out that she had a basket, shopping basket. So just she kept it on the sideboard. Tableau, moving up to the left of Frank, whispering frantically, "Do you think she heard?" Now he's afraid of being punished again because he was Krog's wife, and Tableau thinks that she would report about everything if she heard us. So, just whispering and frantically, he asked to Tableau that, "Did she hear everything what we were discussing and talking?" Frank shakes his head comfortingly, "No." Millie takes off her cape and hang it on the hall stand. I think she was not standing there quite a time. Means recently she has come here. Okay. I think she was not there quite a time. Tableau. If she did, if she heard everything and she tells Mr. Crocker Harris, there goes my remove. So he'll not provide me removal. Okay. I have to stay more and more here for extra work. The child, Teplo was afraid of principal. Next, video is going to be so long. Next paragraph would be covered in the next episode of the video. That's it. Keep learning.